just a little bit away. And then Turk won't go today, but is good. He had a knee contusion, and so we're just letting it rest today. Everybody else will be out there and working. Again, we look forward to the challenge of playing Denver. We know they're a good football team. They're very well coached in all the phases. Joe does a good job with the offense along with Sean and Vance on defense. Been a head coach. He's a great football coach and has a tremendous scheme there. And then Ben works with the special teams and does a nice job there. So, and they've got good players. And they're, like I said, they're playing well. They're executing well in all three phases. So, anyways, with that, time's yours.
And Patrick, is there any expectation as far as just managing that ankle that you need to back off with him a little bit this week?
Yeah, he won't have to back off, but he manages it. He stays on top of all that. So, yeah.
Andy, I can't remember if you got asked this after the game or not, cleaning up a couple of details. Kingsley played a couple snaps on the first drive. What was happening on that?
Yeah, so our called player was 64. So then we could sub Kingsley out. When we put Mike in, Mike could come out. You have to sub the guy out that's the called player. So to do what we were trying to do, you had to make that move. But I mean, it shows you the trust that we have in Kingsley too, because we came in and threw the ball. It didn't matter what the play was. We got two good young guys. They're getting better as we go. So.
Is it easier, Coach, to have Wanye eligible based on his limited receiving skills that we've seen? Is that sort of part of the equation as well?
To have who?
Wanye, to have him be eligible.
Yeah. I mean, we're not. Yeah. They both can catch. So yeah, they both can catch. So, but
Andy,
don't tell him that.
What are the timetables for Pacheco and O'Menahue in terms of return to practice?
Yeah, we're taking it week by week, day by day. That whole deal. I mean, it's and then we've got to work through the doctors on that. So and the checkups there, but they're both doing great. They're both making progress. Juju the same way. So we're getting close.
But not this week, you don't think?
I don't think so. No.
Andy, obviously you're looking forward, not back, but I wonder, as you think of the season, what do you think most has enabled you guys to keep moving forward and stay undefeated?
Yeah, these games have been close, a lot of them. So I'm proud of the guys for playing for 4 quarters and hanging together for that time. But so I'd probably tell you that we can get better in all the different spots, me included. So we're all kind of working in the same direction right now, and that's important to see if we can't improve as we go.
Has it seemed to you it's been a variety of different ways, finding ways to win? I don't know if more so in the past or not, but does that seem like that to you?
Yeah, different things have shown up at important times. I'd tell you, yes. And guys have stepped up, and really all 3 phases have been involved with that. So I'd tell you yes.
I mean, maybe one of those things, at least on the offensive side, is the success on 3rd down the last few weeks. Is there some key ingredients to that?
Yeah, first of all, Matt does a great job supplying the plays on that, and the guys buy in and believe in it. And you got an offensive line that's doing a nice job protecting, and a quarterback that's a real good player. And then the receivers and Kels have just and Noah have done a great job with their execution there. So and staying alive. So if there was a breakdown here or there, they did a great job in coverage. The guys stay alive and are able to get themselves open. But it starts with Matt and what he's put together for them.
Andy, you mentioned the interior line. Those guys have
You know, they're all best buddies. I mean, they're always together, and they're good players. They're good players, and they work at it. But they play together long enough where they kind of know each other's strengths and weaknesses and cover up, you know, the weakness and with each other's strengths. So it again, these challenges that we had this week won't be any different. I mean, their inside guys are great, so it'll be another big challenge for those inside three to execute, just like last week was. I mean, it was a big challenge. So it's but they're good friends. They spend a lot of time together. They study. They're smart guys. You know, so.
As you watch the film these past few weeks for Xavier, how do you sense that he's developing? What's the messaging come out of the last game?
Yeah, he's doing a good job. You know, he just had that luck of stepping out of bounds there. I mean, but what a great route. That was an adjustment he made to even put himself in that position off of the route. And, you know, but he's doing a good job. He didn't have his number dialed up as much as he did the weeks in the past. I mean, most of the stuff ended up going to Kells and 8. So that, but there'll be weeks like, you know, that his number's called up more. I mean, that just is how it goes in these games. You know.
Matt?
And if it's not gets away any sort of scheme thing, what adjustment did he make on?
Yeah, so they clouded that side, and he adjusted back outside and was able to escape where you get yourself forced wide. He was able to keep himself in bounds and escape that corner, not force him wider than the play normally brings you to. So, but I thought he did a great job on that part. And then just, you know, he'll learn from that. Young guy will learn from it. You know, you won't see him step out of bounds very often. I mean, that's not, you know, but it was good. It was good. He can take something positive out of it, and then he can take something he can learn from out of it, too.
Let's go Matt, Todd, and then Nate. Go ahead, Matt.
So how much of DeAndre's early success has been just the way that he thinks about football and sees things about football maybe the same way that Patrick does?
Yeah, I mean, they're both football guys, and I'm not sure they turned it off for a long period of time, if at all. He studies like crazy. I mean, we got him in a bunch of different spots. Excuse me. So just for him to be able to pick it up like he has and be able to get out of the huddle and get lined up has been a plus, and then know the routes that are coming to him. But he and Pat do a ton of talking, and you see this with good receivers, good quarterbacks. They've got a feel for one another in their games, and you say receivers are quarterback friendly. Well, some of it's just body language and seeing the same space together, and being able to work in that.
Todd?
Sean Payton, someone you competed against before, obviously it's year 2 for him there. I'm guessing there's more and more characteristics of his type of team in year 2 of this. Just what sort of things do you expect from a team that's coached by him?
Yeah, well, first of all, he's a great football coach and a heck of an offensive mind. He's got a young quarterback there that you can just see him develop, and every week the kid gets better and better. So he knows how to do all that, and he does it as well as anybody in this league. So they're improving. Their defense is playing out of their mind. They're one of the top defenses in the National Football League. So in a bunch of categories, and you know, so he's got a good staff that he's hired, and he's leading it the right way.
And everybody knows how fun it is to have an explosive play on offense, but is there something that you find more satisfying about a longer drive that ends in a touchdown, and is there a sort of a cumulative effect of being successful on long sustaining drives?
I just like touchdowns. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't grade them. I mean, as long as we can get in there. I think probably for the fans, it's the long ones, you know, the long bombs are all good. For us, it's so hard to score in this league. You just want to get in the end zone, whatever way is working for you. Yeah, good.
How's the ankle?
It's doing good, you know. Obviously, when you have a little bit of a roll, it's a little bit of sore. But I'm able to move around, and I look forward to getting out of practice and seeing how I can push it as the week goes on.
Something like that, do you, like, Monday night, does treatment stuff begin, like, right away? You didn't just go home and go to bed?
Yeah, I mean, you can only do so much. I mean, obviously, it was pretty late, but getting some stuff in the training room after the game, and then getting some stuff to take home, you throw it on there. Stuff you can do overnight that you put on there to kind of reduce swelling and stuff like that. But you come in early Monday morning. It was a long day yesterday of watching film and getting treatment and doing some rehab type stuff and prepare yourself for a short week and a practice today.
Patrick, one thing Monday night I don't think we asked you. You actually heard it before you let go of the ball on that play. Do you remember anything? Was that just a blur? Or
Yeah, I mean, I was going to run, and so at the last second I saw him open and just try to get the ball out before I got past that line of scrimmage there, and it kind of just it snagged on me a little bit, and with the previous injury, it just sent a sharp pain down my leg. But yeah, I mean, you just get the ball in the end zone, 3rd and goal. We were able to score a touchdown at a big moment, and kind of once the pain went away, I was able to get back out there and play again.
you didn't necessarily feel it like before you let go of the ball. It's just all.
I mean, you definitely feel it, but you're more focused on the actual throw at that time. So just try to get the ball off as fast as possible, and then get away from anyone else that wants to hit me.
Patrick, you guys had a couple 10-plus play drives in that second half, which has been sort of a thing for you guys this year. I wonder if you could think back to St. Joe and what are those days like when you work on that, and how much do you think that is correlated to what you guys have done this year?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just Coach Reid prepares us for those moments. He prepares us to be in those long drives. We do long drive drill like every day, and it sucks. I mean, it's the best way to say it, but at the same time, it prepares you to be ready for those moments in the game. And I think you've seen this year and in previous years, it seems like we play our best football in the fourth quarter, and it's because we've been preparing ourselves all year long to play our best football then. And games in the NFL are such close margins that every game seems like it goes down to the very end, and I feel like we're the best prepared team in those situations.
Could you describe maybe the exhaustion that those drills are during the hot days in St. Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to act like it's the hardest for me, but I mean, I know they're hard for a lot of the guys, like the receivers and the tight ends, the O-line, D-line, DBs. I know I'm kind of the motivator. I'm like trying to push the guys through the finish line, but there's not a lot, the coach doesn't let you sub out. He makes you go for 15, 18 plays, whatever it is in a row. You might have a water break in there, here and there, but it's for moments like this last game, and it's proven. And we've been able to play great football in fourth quarters and into seasons over these last few years, and I believe that's a big reason why.
Snap-wise, it looked like DeAndre took a significant step last week. How has that process gone, and where does the progression go as you get into the 3rd week of playing with him?
Yeah, I mean, you just continue to get him more and more comfortable within the offense. I mean, obviously he had a big game this last game, but we continue to give him more and more opportunities to make plays, and we move him around and let him do what he's special at, and that's catching the football, winning one-on-one matchups, and getting open in zone coverage. And so it's just going to help the entire offense, not only for him, but helping other guys get open as well. And obviously with the big game that he had this last game, I'm sure there'll be more eyes on him this week, which will in turn help other guys get open.
I'm sorry, Andy complimented Xavier on the adjustment he made. He ended up stepping out of bounds. Just how have you seen him sort of progress in that sense as a rookie?
Yeah, I mean, he does a lot of great things. And like you said, on that play, he kind of had like a more of an in-cut type route. They went to a coverage that they hadn't played a lot, with kind of a 2 invert with the safety kind of playing in the middle there. And so I looked down the middle of the field because that's kind of my guy I looked to. And then I corner my eye, I saw Xavier down the sideline making that adjustment. And so I try to get him the ball as quickly as possible. Obviously, I mean, you're half an inch from scoring a touchdown or whatever it is, maybe even less than that. And so, I mean, he'll learn from that. But I thought he did a great job on that play in general of recognizing the coverage and getting to the right spot. And regardless of stats and whatever it is, the threat of him and over the top is getting a lot of other guys open. And so that gets lost in the swing of things is that you don't see the big catches downfield, but I promise you the defenses are respecting his speed, and that's helping get guys like DeAndre and Trav open kind of in that medium range.
Patrick, having said that, this is about the point of the year last year when Rice started to really pick it up. Are you seeing any signs that maybe he could have a similar jump in production?
Yeah. I mean, Rashid's season was special last year, and I think a lot came that we needed him to step up and have that role in the offense. I mean, obviously we've gotten guys in here that I think take off that pressure of having one guy make all those big plays, but I think you'll continue to see big games from him You've seen it in certain moments throughout the season, the big plays. You've seen certain plays where he's caught the ball and scored touchdowns. And so I think his role will get bigger and bigger within the offense. But I think we're probably more well-rounded as an offense in general, so it won't maybe not as big of the numbers and stats that Rasheed had last year.
How much are you learning about DeAndre as far as how he kind of sees coverages and maybe just sees the way that you adjust routes the same way that you see them versus the coverages and everything?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that comes with reps, but you can tell by the way he talks and the way he does stuff on the football field that he has a good feel for getting himself open, being in the right spot at the right time. But there's certain things that we do in our offense, even at the end of the game. That's not what we were really taught to do, is kind of look right there, but I kind of just try to get him to do it so we can get a few more yards, get that first down. And that's stuff that we'll learn from this next time. And so he does a great job of getting himself open, being in the right spot at the right time. And as we get more and more reps, that'll continue to get better.
Was that 2nd and 2 I think on the second drive of the first quarter, short throw over the middle to him? Was that a true RPO or was that just?
No, that was a true RPO, and the safety came down pretty aggressively, and I was able to hit him. And then if you watch, we kind of ran some of the similar type runs later in the game. That safety stayed back, so having that threat, not only you get the one completion for a big game, but it helps the run game out as well, and it's keeping defenses honest on how they're going to attack playing against us.
We'll go Blair, Todd, and then Bye. Go ahead, Blair.
Patrick, going back to the long drives for a second, how much of that is a product of success on 3rd down, and what contributes to that? Because those numbers have spiked here the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think first off, having manageable 3rd downs. We're running the ball so well and getting in these 3rd and shorts, 3rd and mediums where I can throw the ball underneath and we can still get first downs. We're not trying to force it with these 3rd and long situations. So I think that contributes to a lot of the success. And then I think a good planning with Nagy, Coach Nagy, and all the different coaches, and having a great 3rd down scheme, having answers versus all the coverages the defenses play. And obviously, I feel like we get a lot of different coverages than they might play in a week before, but we've kind of seen some of them now. And so we know, and they let me know if we do get some coverages that have previously worked on us where to go with the football, and I'm able to get the ball out, and guys are getting first downs.
The Broncos played you guys really well last year, got you one time, played it tough here at home. What about their defense, the way they're playing right now, is going to be the biggest challenge for y'all?
Yeah, I mean, they're very well coached. They play extremely hard, and they have great football players. I mean, that's what it takes on great defenses is they have an understanding for the scheme that we run. I mean, Coach Joseph has played against us a lot as a head coach, as a defensive coordinator, so he knows how to take away some of the stuff that we're really good at. They have great. I mean, Surtain might be the best corner in the NFL. So you have a guy that you can take away some guys because he's that good of a player, that high caliber of a player. But then the whole entire team, they play together as a team. They play hard. They don't let you have anything easy. And so some of those drives, even in the game we won, we got down the football field, but they didn't give up touchdowns. They forced us into turnovers. They forced us into field goals, and they played the long game. So it's about us executing, like you said, these long drives and finding ways to get in the end zone. And know it's going to take perfection on every single drive in order to do that.
When, you guys are playing at noon on Sunday. It's pretty rare, a little weird for y'all. You liken just a regular old Sunday? You know what a regular old Sunday is like anymore?
I'm excited for it because my kids are going to get to come. Like, all these night games are awesome and they're prime time, but the kids don't get to go to a lot of those because it's past bedtime, or if they do, they have to leave early. And so I'll be able to have the kids at the game. They'll get to have a great experience at Arrowhead. And hopefully we can wake up and have a good game. It's going to be a great challenge for us, though, and we're just going to take our best football against a division opponent. But hopefully you get in there, get a win, and you're able to watch football the rest of the day.
Bye.
Patrick, you use that term regardless of stats specific to Xavier, but I wonder if that speaks to a little bit of how this season has been. I mean, would you point to something beyond the stats that accounts for why you guys are undefeated?
I think it's just we're a really good football team, and like a team, and whatever it takes that day, guys are going to step up and make the play. If it's defense, if it's offense, if it's special teams, and each individual in those situations, they're going to step up and make that play whenever their number is called that day. And none of us are about stats here. We're about wins. And we've kind of we've went seasons where we've had great stats and not won the Super Bowl, and the seasons like last year, whenever you don't necessarily have the great stats, but you win the Super Bowl, still feel way better. And so just to be able to go up in each and every week knowing that it's going to take whatever it takes, we're going to find a way to win the football game. It comes with experience, and it comes with a great culture that we've built here.
With that, do you feel like this is the most adaptable maybe you guys have been? I mean, each week sort of has its own story. I mean, do you feel like that's sort of happened?
Yeah, in a sense. I think it's just a great culture of winning. I mean, guys just know how to find ways to win the game, and I think we're getting better and better. Offensively, I think we're getting better each and every week. Defensively, they've been great all year long. And so I know we're not playing our best football yet, and we're still finding ways to win. So let's just continue to get better and build up into the playoffs.
Thanks, Patrick.
Trent, after the game, we talked a little bit, you said the guys kind of picked you up on that final play of the game. Can you just take us through the play where they scored on and what you saw and kind of the reaction you got from your teammates on the sideline?
Yeah, it was poor eyes by me. We were in a cover 3. Lost in the backfield when I seen Baker do the run fake, and yeah, that was my bad. And I went to the sideline and told everybody that. But again, just to reiterate, I mean, B. Cook, Jay Reid, Shamari came over there while I was, ticked off that I let up a score that allowed them to tie the game. And they're just like, look, bro, this is going into overtime. We still got more games. Don't worry about it. We got your back. We know what you can do. And for me, that was just a way to kind of lock back in and also just be like, man, that's special to be in a locker room where guys, you give a big play in the game. They're like, don't worry about it. Don't stress. We got your back. I think that kind of speaks volume as to the character of what we have in here.
Not just in your case, but how much energy do you think you guys draw from each other on a week-to-week basis?
Yeah, it's everything. We always talk about it. I mean, if you go listen to our pregame speech by B. Cook or Jay Reid ever, they're always talking about energy, energy, energy. And OBC always talks about energy is contagious. And with football, things don't always go your way. So we always talk about big plays, that can suck the energy out of people or things like that kind of determine a few games. When you're able to just stick together and everybody's out there having fun and enjoying each other and celebrating after certain plays, it kind of just brings the motivation to go out there and play a little bit more.
You guys have had some new guys come in, some on offense, some on defense,
Yeah.
and they seem to be energized to be here.
Yeah.
Does that give you guys some energy too to have some new guys come in because they're like, hey, I get to be a Chief now.
Yeah.
This is pretty good stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think everybody who's able to come in here, I've been able to see they come in and they just get right back to what our philosophy is about. I don't think we've ever brought anybody in here that I've personally seen that's been about themselves or been selfish or been like, oh, I came here and I'm this person. They all kind of just come in here and lock in and get into our philosophy of what we are about the Chiefs, and I love it. And they always bring a lot of energy like we just talked about. And it's just fun to see guys come in here from other teams and listen to their stories and then see what they're going to be able to produce for us. And kind of like D-Hop the other day having a huge game, which, for us, we haven't seen D-Hop have many big games like that in the past few years. So for him to come in, step up, learn the offense this quickly, have a big game, it brings a lot of confidence not only to the defense but to the offense too.
You guys, as a secondary tackle,
Yeah.
pretty physical team as well. Just what's the emphasis in that room for being part of the run defense?
Yeah, that's everything. We talk about it all the time. Pre-practice, we go over run fits. During practice, we go over run fits. Fortunately for me, last year being at nickel, I got to learn a lot about the run game, and that's facts. This defense, if you're a defensive back, you got to tackle. You got to fit the run. You got to set the edge. You're taking on linemen and all these different things as far as playing man, as far as playing zone. So that's kind of the other side of the league where mental becomes everything. You're going to have to learn a lot more stuff, and they put a lot more pressure on you to do the little things like that. But I love it. I play defense to tackle, to play aggressively, and ever since I've been here, that's just been the philosophy of who we are. So I don't look for that standard to drop at all and just continue to keep stacking our tackling.
I'm trying to remember, the only time you played against DeAndre Hopkins in your career was that first game of your career, right?
Yeah, and I didn't even match up against him, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
You never guarded him. I know you left early that
Yeah,
day. But
yeah.
You never. What is there anything you remember about him just from that day, even though you weren't?
Oh
matched up
man,
against him?
not specifically from that game, but over the years, I'm always been able to watch D-Hop and have a lot of respect for his game. Not only as a player, but as a person, behind the scenes, his work ethic. I've been able to see him firsthand just how he holds himself, how he carries himself around the locker room, and he's one of those guys that I've been able to learn from already. You know, during the game a little bit, pre-practice and stuff, he'll just give you little hints of stuff at receivers or what an offense philosophy is that for me I love. You know, I love learning about the game. I love learning about different offenses. So when you get a vet who's able to come in here and is knowledgeable about football, I usually gravitate a lot to those guys.
Can you give us an example of maybe some of those tips you're talking about?
Yeah, man, one of it earlier today actually, he just hit me with like, you know, as teams start to see you throughout the season and see your weaknesses or seeing things that they beat you on, they tend to like come back at you with the same stuff and little things like that you know during the season you're like, yeah, it makes sense, but just having someone reiterate it or just be like, don't forget this thing, definitely helps a lot.
Role-wise for Joshua, it's been a little bit of an up and down
Yeah.
season, but he played a lot last game. Just how have you seen him handle that, and how did you feel like he came out?
Yeah, I mean, I've been able to watch Josh over these past 3 years and watch him grow as a player, you know. And he's one of those guys where the more confidence he has, the better he plays. And I think that's on us as vets to kind of keep him in that mindset because nobody's perfect. I mean, I'm not perfect. Nobody on that field's perfect. So being able to put your arm around the guy kind of like they did to me and be like, it's good, we got your back, we have trust in you. He's made plays before. He has picks. He's been in big games, Super Bowls. So just keeping him on the right track, I think, is the big thing for us to be able to do for Josh because, like I said, we love him out there. I trust him being out there, and I know he's able to do his job well.
What have you seen, the rookie quarterback coming in, Bo Nix, halfway through the year now? As you gone back and watched everything,
Yeah.
what's his development look like and what kind of challenge will he be for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely picking up really well in their offense. You know, he's starting to be able to read defenses a little bit better. But I think the best thing he does is his feet, you know. And many people might not see him as this mobile quarterback, you know, Lamar Jackson, this and that. But he's willing to run that ball, and he's willing to pull it on some zone reads. He's able to scramble and make time for his receivers to get open, and he knows where he wants to put the ball. And I got to respect that as a rookie. He's a good quarterback. He's coming along great, and he's going to be a challenge for us.
Last one, anyone? Thanks, Trent.
Appreciate y'all.
Hello.
Go for Mecole.
Well, things through the punt return and the shoulder. First of all, you came back in the game when they announced you're questionable for return. What happened there?
Well, big return first of all, and just landing on it a little too hard. Just want to make sure everything was cool, but definitely wasn't going to try to sit out for the rest of that game. Tight game, close game. So definitely wanted to get back out there as fast as I could. So
When you came back, you didn't go to the tent, you sat on the bench for just a second when they took you back there. What's that time like when you're trying to keep up with the game and getting checked out when you're under the tunnel and all that?
just trying to get back out there, man. Definitely got to, obviously they got procedures and stuff they have to go through that, it's normal, especially when things like that happen. So they were just doing their job, and me just trying to clear all the checks and just get back out there as fast as I can to help the team. So.
Cole asked Patrick about this, but you guys have had a lot of long drives this year. What are those long drive drills like in St. Joe for a wide receiver?
Terrible. I think this is something that that prepares you for drives like that in the real game. Probably long drive a little bit harder, but those are the type of things we do in practice to try to make the game a little bit easier, especially when you go into a long drive drill. So as a receiver, man, just more so just trying to get lined up, making sure you're doing your assignment right, and making the play when it comes to you. But those things that we practice in training camp or even practice is try to make those things like that easier in the game.
When you sort of hear that you guys will be working on one of those during the day, what's like your immediate reaction to it?
Whenever the strip come out, I guess you see the strip and it's just like, got a long drive drill, But I think you can look at it two ways. Either you can dread on it, or you can look at it as getting better and trying to attack it, and get better from it. So I guess that's kind of how everybody look at it. At first, it might be like a down reaction, but then overall, it's like we're gonna get better from it. So
When DeAndre came in, right, is this someone like when you were a kid, you didn't grow up very far from Clemson, right?
Right.
Is this someone you watched when you were little?
Yeah. D-Hop was a big thing around my town, man. He definitely was a receiver that everybody, we knew about. Like I said, he probably was like 40 minutes from my house, right over the South Carolina border. So, but yeah, he definitely was a big name and a guy that you seen watch play, at Clemson. He's been doing that for a while now. What he did this last game in college and high school. So he's been doing that for a minute now. So ain't no surprise.
When you watched him from afar, you get a different style of game, obviously, but what sort of things do you take from watching him and as a younger player when you were little, or even in the pros when he's playing?
He's just a guy, man, that play the game the right way. He's a dominant player, been like that since he entered the league. And so I think just watching from afar, you can admire, what he's doing for the game and, the plays that he making. Then when he's on your team, I think you take it, you don't take it for granted from having him here. So I'm glad that he's here and he's making plays already, and pretty sure you're gonna continue that up throughout the season.
When you see someone come in, you're big guy asked this because you were here, then you were gone, and you came back. You're happy to come back here. What is special about this place for when guys come in and they've been somewhere else and they get welcomed here and like when you came back, and how much fun that was for you?
I don't know, man. I guess it's a different atmosphere, man. Every place ain't the same, but here is, it's all love, man. Great people around, great staff, and I think everybody welcome people with open arms, no matter who you are. And I think it's just a lot of love that's shown, especially like around the town or throughout the building. So it's always a warm, welcoming feeling, like a home feeling when you come back here or when you coming into this place. So I think for anybody that come in here, it's just a arms open, welcome kind of feel, and the locker room, welcome you open arms as well. So definitely try to, one of them things that you come in, you can be comfortable and be yourself, and and get up right away, and try to help the team. So I think it's a good thing for anybody coming here.
Mecole, before the team got D-Hop, did you, because of the attrition rate of wide receivers this season, did you almost feel, not within these walls, but maybe the perception outside, that you're like the forgotten man among the wide receivers?
Nah, I don't know, man. I don't really look at it like that. I think I'm more so of just, I'm always a guy of, of opportunity. I always been like that since I got here. And that's kind of how I played that role, is whenever the opportunity comes or presents itself, just take advantage of it, no matter the circumstances. But as far as like the forgotten receiver, I don't know. Maybe they do, but you know, once I make a big play or something like that, they still know I'm there, you know, in a sense. But I'm just a guy of opportunities, man. So whenever the opportunity presents itself, I just take advantage and just keep going like that.
Anything else? Thanks, Mecole.
Appreciate it. Thank you.